Welcome back into Pro Football Today, the halftime show here on SportsGrid TV. And I'm so glad to say I've got an update. I'm seeing some props for Puka Nacua sitting at 79.5. So going back to what we saw him produce in that first quarter there for this Rams team, if the props are telling us that everything is all right, I'm going to go with hopping on the 79.5, considering that he was a huge driving force for the Rams offense and their rhythm. Plus, the release time that Stafford needs, the pace that Puka Nacua is playing at, that's going to probably help get them back to alleviate some of that pressure that Matthew Stafford is under with the Eagles D-line. Outside of that, something else that I actually really like as well, Saquon Barkley. His receiving yards are sitting at 20.5. We saw a big pass from Jalen Hurts to him when he had to get bailed out of some trouble there. He's already sitting at 16 receiving yards. Why not jump on and go for that 20.5 there? So we'll see what other reports come out as we get ready to get things going here for the second half of the game. Again, 13-7, the Eagles are up, but it was the Rams that were in full control up until the halfway point of the second quarter. The big thing here is going to see what we get out of the O-line for the Rams, if they can hold off just a little bit longer to give Stafford some time, and then Kyren Williams, if he's going to be able to get a few other big burst plays going here, because he was also such a driving force for the Rams offense to start getting down the field. So we'll see where the run game comes back in. We'll see if Puka Nacua makes an appearance, but I think the props really telling us that everything is good to go. And then more importantly, AJ Brown. So quick correction here. He's sitting at 69%. And then once you get it out 69 yards, then you're looking at his prop sitting at 105. So I don't hate that, considering that there's going to be a few more big plays coming in hot for the Eagles downfield with AJ Brown. And also considering the fact that they're going to try to get things a little tricky there between Saquon Barkley, regardless of the workload that he can carry, regardless of the tackles that he can break and get downfield. Brown's kind of been hard to mark as well. He's causing a lot of flags to be thrown because they're just struggling on coverage to hold him down. So if they can get a little bit more of that action going on, 105 for A.J. Brown in this matchup looks pretty good to me as well. I'm still not veering away from Cooper. That's coming down to 39.5 now. So with Puka Nacua hopefully being clear to come back in the second half, sitting at 79.5 receiving yards potentially, prop-wise, then Cooper Kupp's going to be a good alleviator as well. Robinson, I never know what to make of that, but his number in prop is sitting at 27.5. So some goodies to hop onto as the second half gets going here. Make sure you stick with us here on SportsGrid TV, because In Game Live is going to continue to run you through some Sunday Night Football.
In-game live game day continues. I am Gabe Morency. The second half set to begin at SoFi Stadium. The Philadelphia Eagles get the football to start the second half. They have wrestled momentum away from the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams were effective. The Rams gained 117 yards on their first two drives of the football game. Since then, they've managed 78 combined yards. So 117 on the first two. They scored a touchdown, and they're really having a hard time protecting Matthew Stafford. And it's not Stafford's fault, right? It's not an instance. Well, sometimes older quarterbacks in the pocket, and they're not making plays, right? We see this with Joe Flacco. The play breaks down, and he's just sort of done, and he's just too old and slow. Aaron Rodgers, etc. This isn't Stafford's fault. He's dropping back to pass, and he's getting lit up right away all the time. And you got to give him a little bit of time. Even like Lamar Jackson wouldn't be able to deal with this. The Eagles are owning the Los Angeles Ram offensive line. Now it's up to Sean McVay and the Rams coaches to, and here we go. Touchdown on the first play of the second half, which we like because we jumped in on the over 43.5. Of this game at the half, and Saquon Barkley just takes it to the house. 70-yard touchdown run for Saquon Barkley. Touchdown, Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. And Saquon Barkley flew right there, man. Saquon Barkley, man, this guy's a big-time home run hitter. And a fantasy football player, especially at this critical time of the year, definitely enjoy that. As Saquon Barkley, 14 carries, 143 yards. And a touchdown, including a 70-yard run. So he's already up to $143 right now. He's caught 3 balls as well. So we already hit the prop over. 2.5 receptions, but we got over 14.5 yards as well. So yeah, we pulled the trigger on over 43.5. And I figured this game was going to open up here in the second half, but this was an exact nightmare for the Los Angeles Rams. You guys got the ball back, right? Like, you held them, you know what I mean, to field goals early. You give them the touchdown, but you get the ball back. You had time to at least potentially get a field goal. You gave the ball back to them. I know it went back and forth, but Philadelphia getting the ball again really was just sort of the, right, a swing, a turning point, as we talked about, like, going into the half. People don't emphasize that enough. It's critical, and good teams take advantage of it, right? Have the ball last in the half, score last, like, be the last team to score in the half, and be the first team to score out of the, the second half here, and it can really change a game. It's like hockey, right? You know what I mean? A game could be a 1-1 hockey game. A team scores with 18 seconds left in the period. You see it all the time. One team's dominating. They're up 1-0. They give up a 1-1 goal. Next thing you know, the team scores again. It's 2-1. They score with 10 seconds left in the first period. And then, good teams will score like in the first minute of the second period again. Next thing you know, you're like, man, we were up 1-0. Now we're down 3-1. Same thing with the Rams. It was like, man, the Rams played great in the first quarter. And it's only been one quarter, like, later here. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of stuff has happened in this last little quarter, but it's a good opportunity for Ram props right now. Let's bring in Mr. Sean Higgs to get his thoughts on the Sunday nighter. Good to see you, Sean. How you doing tonight?
I'm all right, Gabe.
It's a bald festival here.
Yes, we look good. You're the skinny bald guy and the chubby one. It's all right. We're a perfect 10 if we're walking down the street. We'd be like, you'd be the 1, I'd be the 0.
That's pretty good. Oh, my God. The Rams just fumbled the ball, but they recovered their own fumble. So, yeah, what do you think about this game? I jumped in on the over 43.5 at halftime. I'm already on the over in the game. I do have the Rams +3, and I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about the Rams need to score a touchdown here. Otherwise, this game's going to turn into a rout soon. Who are you on in this game right now?
I'm on the under. I'm at 50.5, 48, and 47.5 unders. I got the field goal kickers both over 1.5, and I grabbed some anytime tutties. I had a Cup at like 140 and Nakua at 145, and I had Barkley for 2 at 3-1. So that was a nice little run there. But I'm kind of hoping for an under. I thought a little slow start there. That's a like you said, for you with the over, big run. But now the Rams are kind of up against it. They need to do something there. This could get out of hand in a hurry. Next thing you know, it's going to be like 27-6 or something.
The Rams are shaking it up here on this drive right now. They're getting murdered every time they try to throw the football. So they've actually ran the ball, even though they're down right now. They're running the ball, and it's worked. They've actually picked up a couple of first downs. They're going to have to start throwing a little bit, but I don't mind this to at least soften the line a little bit and give Stafford a little bit more time like they just did. There's a catch to Nakua. Is that complete? Yeah, it is complete. There's pass interference on it anyways, but nice catch from Nakua here. I'm not giving up on this game, and so we're going head-to-head on this, unfortunately, Sean, because I'm on the over this game, and I just pulled the trigger on an in-game over 49.5. I'm expecting this game to open up and become a stupid track meet here.
Well,
maybe it's wishful thinking.
Listen, the Rams have to respond here. They need at least 3, so then you're at 30, and you're at 13, 12 minutes left to go in the third, and you're at 30 points. You need 50. I mean, I'd be more happy with an over than I am with the under right now, with the way how the Rams have to respond here after that big run by Barkley.
Yeah, that flash TD. Anytime you get those flash TDs. And the Rams are responding pretty quickly. They're already on the 38-yard line, but they're going to need to finish this thing off. I like the play action, what they're doing. Right? That's a great way to avoid the pass rush. Buy a little time with the rollout.
Your main event, Tale of the Tape for Battle of the Giants. Francis Ngannou, 38 years of age. Renan Ferreira is 34. Francis standing 6 feet 4 inches tall. That's usually the bigger man, but tonight he'll face a man who is 6'8". Renan weighed in heavier, has the longer reach on arms
In-game live game day continues. We've got a commercial break in this football game, an injury timeout, actually. So when somebody on the Eagles went down, I'll get you caught up to date with who. There's 12:45 left.
It's Slay again.
Secondary. Well, was it Slay? It was Darius Slay.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, Sean Higgs and now so Darius Slay injured on the play. We went to a TV timeout, which there seems to be a hell of a lot of on Sunday Night Football. So a lot of time left in this football game. The Eagles opened up. They got the ball to start the second half. Listen, the Eagles have scored touchdowns on their last two possessions. So the Rams need to, like, they need a touchdown. They need to respond, and they've done a nice job moving the football down the field. They're inside the 30-yard line right now. They got a 1st and 10, and they have done a nice job running the football, but they just got blown up. The Eagles' line just blew this thing up right now. All right, we'll take a field goal if we have to take it, Sean, but I need a touchdown here. And plus, I can live with it if I don't hit the Ram bet at +3, but I do have the Rams on a teaser at +10, and I would be frustrated if I don't hit that one. I don't want to lose them both, right? So I want the Rams to at least hang around within striking distance here.
I think you're all right with the +10. But again, a field goal here, obviously you got the over, you want 7. But they got to get at least 3. 20-10, you make a stop and then come down the field and chip away, whether another field goal or a touchdown, you're still kind of in it. And at that point, if it's 2013, Eagles are going to be like, you know what, we're going to run the ball and just kind of grind it out, and they're going to kind of play a little protective too as well. So, they're not going to be looking at
but you know what? Barkley can always pop one, though. And what I don't understand, I was just saying to everybody, on this drive, guys, they've done a really nice job of, like, doing a play action, the Jared Goff special, right? They fake the handoff. Stafford rolls out. It buys time. It stunts the D-line for a second at least because they're not sure whether you're going to hand it off or not. So it stunts the line, and he's completed the passes. On this last play, he went right back to the drop back, and what happened? He got hit as he threw the football. Yep. Like, they need to roll him out just point blank. Like, I don't know why they went back, and now he's in a shotgun again in a direct sort of, all right, they're going to be able to tee off on him here. All right, they gave him a little bit of time to work with. Oh, I was going to say, what a catch from Nakua in the end zone, but he dropped it. I was going to ask where the flag is, and here's a flag shot on the play.
Yep.
Do we have pass interference in the end zone? Yeah, here we go, baby. All right, there's Land Clark. Land. You see this referee, Land Clark. I don't know if you can trust anyone named Land. Land Clark is the ref tonight.
So that totally buries my over, or I got the under. So that probably puts a nail in that coffin. Instead of getting my second field goal here, or another field goal for my kicker, I'm getting nothing. I'm getting a touchdown. I'm not even going to get a Puka or a Cup touchdown. I'm going to get a Williams Vulture touchdown here when he comes in. That's the
crazy thing about NFL games, huh? Every play, somebody has something on it. Like, it affects you. People think, oh, it's a meaningless. Like, no. Like, hell, you got the Dotson prop. You need one more catch. Or, like, every play, there's somebody's like, oh, God, I didn't want that to happen, or I needed that to happen. And you get into fantasy football and DFS, prop betting, bets, and everything. But so far, we've had an explosive start to the second half. Here's Slay on the sidelines right now. Looks like Slay is going to the room right now, walking off on his own, but he is going to the room.
That's the second time he walked on. He got knocked off the field. He had that in the first quarter too, I think. He got banged up.
Yeah, Barkley got banged up and came back as well. Here, I'll give you an opportunity. Well, let's see what happens here with the touchdown. Then I'll give you an opportunity to pile on a little bit more dirt on the Bears' coffin after a tough, close loss today.
Oh, man. Poor Bears fans.
They're playing. Oh, touchdown. 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 DeMarcus Robinson. Touchdown, Rams house. All right, we got ourselves a game. Stuff's opening, it's opening up a little bit here, Higgs. Since you joined us, you're the good luck charm.
It's one thing. All right, I lose the total, fine. I'm going to get the guy who I don't have the 2 wide receiver props on for the touchdown. Like, goes to the guy number 3 after Cooper.
I warned you. Should have tuned in earlier. I actually said it. I said, you know what? They said as good as Cup and Nakua are, they don't really score a lot of touchdowns. They don't throw them the ball much. Like Williams scores the touchdowns when they're close, and then they just go to DeMarcus Robinson of all people right now.
Yeah.
So this game is starting to open up a little bit, entertaining. Man, that was a quick two touchdowns.
14 points in 4 minutes. Yeah, be happy.
Yeah, exactly. So we had 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes and 9 seconds. There's 10:51 left right now in the third quarter of play. This thing is really opened up right now. In-game total, and we jumped in on in-game over 43.5 at the half, and we took in-game over 49.5 after the quick touchdown. 54.5 now, Sean. 54.5. The Rams are plus 300 on the money line.
So that might be worth a shot.
They're only down by 6 right now.
That why wouldn't you take a little $3 there? I think it'd be worth a shot there on the Rams. Why wouldn't you take $3 to 1?
Yeah, you know what? Plus 300. We took a stab the other night. It was painful. What was the game? It was the Steeler game the other night. It was prime time. The Steelers were down by 12. Right? It was 18-6 or whatever. And I said, man, they're plus 310 right now. I said, we are talking about Cleveland here. I said, we are talking about Cleveland. And I said, you know what? Jameis is due for a turnover. Let's get in on this. Boom. Right away, he turned it over. He got sacked and he turned it over. The Steelers shot is, they came back and they took the lead. I was patting myself on the back like Barry Horowitz. Everyone in the chat, great pick, Morency. I got in on it. What a great call. Yeah. And then Cleveland ends up winning the damn game. What a roller coaster.
I took a Dallas one today at plus 330. They were down. It was like 9-3.
Wow.
I'm like, it's 9-3. I'm like, Washington does not look good. Why, worth a 330, but $100. I'm like, I'm worth a shot.
The good things about these ones, though, Sean, you don't have to be right every time, right? If you're right every 3-4 times, all right. You know what I'm saying? If you get hot, you hit a couple of them, you can have a good day.
Your main event, tail of the tape for Battle of the Giants. Francis Ngannou, 38 years of age. Reina Ferreira is 34. Francis standing 6 feet 4 inches tall. That's usually the bigger man, but tonight he'll face a man who is 6'8". Reina weighed in heavier, has the longer reach on arms and legs.
It's a Saquon Barkley show so far tonight. Saquon just going off as he usually does, but 15 carries for $151. As far as receptions are concerned, he's caught 3 balls, and he's now gone over the number. It was 14.5. He's up to 16. So we gave you the over 2.5 receptions for Saquon, and we gave you we said over 14.5. So he's there as long as he doesn't lose yards moving forward. We're going to be good. Stafford stuck on 95. Even though they scored the touchdown, there were penalties and runs that got them down the field for the most part. Nakua is up to 5 catches. Cooper Kupp is at 2 catches. Nakua is up to 61 yards. His prop was 71.5 at closing time. Cooper Kupp is only at 9 yards. 2 catches for 9 yards. Yeah, for Cooper Kupp tonight. That's somewhat of a surprise. Sean Higgs in the house with us. I'm Gabe Morency. They're going into the brotherly shove here at midfield. And I said earlier, I don't know why they just didn't do it from the 3-4 yard line and the goal line, and they probably scored. They just picked up 4 yards doing it, right? Like you pop through, and the refs don't blow the whistle right away. Especially if Hurts just gets caught in the middle of the big pile, they can't even see it. Yeah. Look at that! Like he easily just picked up the 4 or 5 yards on that. Yeah, I don't know. They should have done. Yeah, they could do it from further away. So now the Eagles are responding here. They're both going up and down the field. There's no stops now suddenly.
The they don't really need the old tush-push there all the time, right? I mean, you got Barkley now, so you don't need to rely on Hurts. You don't need that guy, God forbid, something happy he gets, and he actually gets hurt. So use it sporadically. Use it at a time like that where it's, sort of expected but not. They don't have to. That doesn't have to be their number one play in the arsenal anymore.
They've been using it quite a bit again recently. They got away from it. Kasey was the big architect of it, and Kelsey's not there. And it looks easy, right, where it's unstoppable and stuff. But Kasey was saying how it's like living hell, like to do it, right? Because, you're basically under everybody. He's like, dude, you got like 1,500 pounds of people on top of you. And he goes, doesn't matter how big you are, you still feel it. That's what he was talking about. And he was saying the same thing, like think about it. Like it's a mass. Like you're the center. You're the guy under all of this, and you're getting killed. Hurts popped out of it that time, but Hurts has been smoked in that pile a few times too, because people get their free shot in when the ref can't see, right?
Oh yeah, but listen, it's special for them because if it was that easy, how many teams would be doing it? Right?
Yeah,
you'd be seeing that all over the place.
I've wondered about that too. You figure, how come every team doesn't do it? You see other teams do it, it doesn't work for them as easy. I don't know though. It's funny because everybody imitates everything. It's a copycat league. You figure teams just don't work at it more because it's ridiculous how bad some teams are in short yardage situations. So the Eagles are at midfield right now. They got a 3rd and 10 coming up. And we got a fun football game. This thing is opening up here in the second half. And Hurts was close to getting sacked. And this is what Jalen Hurts can do for you. Jalen Hurts can scramble. Jalen Hurts just scrambled and picked up about 25 yards for them. Puts the Eagles into the red zone territory right now. They're laying 6.5. There's a flag on the play. Land Clark strikes again. Yeah, let's see. Land strikes again. I don't know. Nobody's moving. Like, you notice the refs take so long to always say what the penalty is. Normally, it's against the Rams. Wow. Oh, it's against both of them. Offsetting.
Do it again. There we go. That means there was no penalty.
Sean, yeah, we've all watched enough football without the sound and stuff. You can tell by the reaction. You can tell by which direction people are walking. You can tell by the player. Like, you can always kind of pick it up what was said on the field with the ref. The players can hear. I couldn't tell there. No one moved. The Rams and Eagle players all seemed confused about what the penalty was, and it turns out they were both guilty. So we got a redo on 3rd and 10 here right now. The Rams did get to Hurts there, but Hurts got away because of the hold, and he popped a big one. This is a big. They're in nowhere's land here. So if they can get the stop, they don't get the stop. Wow, Saquon Barkley. Man, the New York Giants are so stupid, huh? You just can't even can't even make up the Giant stupidity.
Where would they be if they had this guy? They have 4 wins. I mean, come on, he's not changing that team. That team's got other problems.
But you have him, and you had other good players, and you can't argue. Well, you know what? We shouldn't have good players on the team. You know what I'm saying? And you shouldn't argue that we should keep Daniel Jones instead of Saquon Barkley.
Your main event, tail of the tape for Battle of the Giants. Francis Ngannou, 38 years of age. Reina Ferreira is 34. Francis standing 6 feet 4 inches tall. That's usually the bigger man, but tonight he'll face a man who is 6'8". Reina weighed in heavier, has the longer reach on arms and legs.
In-game live game day continues. I am Gabe Morency. So we have to have a touchdown during the commercial break. We've been lucky. We've been live for most of them tonight, if not all of them. But Kenneth Gainwell scores a touchdown for the Philadelphia Eagles. Gainwell. Fly, Eagle, fly. The Eagles are flying right now. They're currently minus 10.5 in this football game. Minus 750 on the money line. Plus 475 the Rams are. And the in-game total is up to 58.5 as we sit at 41 right now. With still a lot of football left to be played. 6:17 left in the third quarter of play. And it's Saquon Barkley, right? They basically hand it off to Saquon, dump it off to Saquon. Dude, Saquon Barkley's receiving prop tonight, his receiving yards was 13.5/14.5. Barkley is now up to 47. It was plus money, 2.5 catches, plus 105, Sean, which I found to be insane, especially with no Devontae Smith tonight. So, yeah, Saquon Barkley, guys, 16 carries, 152 yards, and 4 catches for 47 yards, and he's got 1 touchdown as well. So it's basically Saquon Barkley carrying the Philadelphia Eagles. I swear to God, man, he's single-handedly won like more than half the games for them this year. Sean Higgs in the house with us, and Sean set the world on fire and went viral with his Chicago Bear take before the season started. Said the Bears' season win total was not going to happen. Flippantly said they'd win 5 games, although he admitted after, he's being sarcastic. But you didn't buy into the hype of the Chicago Bears. They lost a heartbreaker today to the Minnesota Vikings, and they don't have a lot of time to think about this. They're playing on Thursday morning against the Detroit Lions. The early Thanksgiving Day game is rapidly approaching, Sean. We'll hit the Monday Nighter in a couple of minutes, but Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions. Bears are getting 10.5 points, over under 49. What are your thoughts?
Sorry, listen, Bears fans, I'm sorry. I mean, this is another heartbreaker. That's 3 of the last 4 games. You can easily say we should have wins here. What? Man, I'm not a fan of laying 10.5, but I'm going to take Detroit. I'm taking Lions. Probably an overplay as well because the vaunted Bears defense has not been very good lately. So Lions and over. How are the Bears going to respond to this one? It was bad enough, like off the Hail Mary game, you got blown out. Then you come home, you should have beat Green Bay. This game here, you're down, you battle all the way back in the fourth quarter, and then you blow it again. And you didn't blow it. You came back. Should have even been that close. I get it's a rivalry game next week, but again, man, the coach.
You know one thing?
I told you he was the coach for me. It was I didn't like the team. I don't care about Caleb or all these young guys, the offensive line, blah 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 blah. Go ahead, Gabe. I'm sorry.
Their offense has been better with the new coordinator. Oh, Stafford, come on, you got to hit that. So their offense has been better. And Caleb Williams played well today, actually. Like there was sort of like the steps. He is a rookie, right? Everybody praised Jaden Daniels earlier. Oh, look how much better he is. Yeah, have you seen him play? I know he hit a couple plays late today, but now he's struggling suddenly. So there's going to be growing pains. But yeah, no, listen, I'm not making a case. Tough to trust the Bears here, getting 10.5. But Eberflus has to go. They can't stick with the same coach. And we see even, when they got the new offensive coordinator, how much better things got quicker. If they had like another really sort of smart coach and a real staff in here, they'll get better. Definitely coaching is holding them back. But yeah, so they're the first game of the day. But let me ask you, what's your big Thanksgiving thing? You're a turkey or ham guy? Or you seem like the type of dude that would probably do both.
No, I'm a ham guy at Thanksgiving. We got a turkey. I got a 19-pound bird. I got it in the fridge, and it's the frost mode there. It's a fresh young turkey. But I like ham on Thanksgiving because I eat turkey a lot. I like my boar's head pit craft like a turkey sandwich. But we got a nice big turkey, and so my wife. I was telling a couple of the guys. I said, so she's flipped up her stuffing, right? So normally she gets a little cubes and makes her own stuffing. She went out and brought like a different kind of brand. Like cubes this year. I'm like, yeah, let's mix it up on Thanksgiving to try something new. Like, really, got to try something on Thanksgiving? That can't be just a random any other day of the week kind of.
It's like busting out a trick. It's like busting out a trick play at the Super Bowl.
Wow, what are you doing
Cooper
here?
Kupp with a catch, and then he fumbled the ball out of bounds. All right, so we got a 4th and 1. This is a critical play. They're at midfield here.
Gotta go
And,
for
oh, my
it.
God, they're throwing the ball. Wow, ballsy play. Big play to Nakua. Holy. Wow. I don't mind the throwing the ball on 4th and 1, whatever. You got Stafford, I get it. You got Nakua and you got Cup. So, there's certain exceptions with teams. Some teams I'm like, no, that's crazy talk. Because it was like half a yard. You could have QB sneaked it. They were thinking, you know what, we can get the touchdown on that play. I like their aggression. They're like, if we hit this in stride here, Nakua can score the touchdown. He didn't, you know what I mean? The ball was a little late and soft getting there and stuff, but they still picked up the first down. But that was ballsy, Sean, considering how the Eagles have been getting pressure on Stafford. Like, that doesn't work. I'm sitting here right now going, that's the stupidest play call ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here, like we were just talking about, like the old Philly shove. Why you need a half a yard? You can't just gun it up the middle. No. Let's chuck it 30 yards downfield.
Let's put Stafford in the shotgun too. I like he's in the shotgun. Right on.
You have to go for it.
God,
you're down 13, 14. You have to go. I get it. Listen, they hit it, so hats off to them. But that's, it goes down the other way, and it's 34-14 because the way Barkley's running, you're not stopping this team. And then it's officially game over.
They need touchdowns too, as you stated. The way the Eagles are running the ball and throwing the ball to Barkley with the little dump offs, they need touchdowns. They need touchdowns, stop touchdowns here. They need touchdowns, and they're in 4-down territory from here on out right now with under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter of play, 3:52 to be exact. So, New York Giants, God, they're bad. And, Mara said earlier this year that the Joe Shane, the GM, and that Brian Dable, the coach, are safe, and he doesn't want to make a change, and he believes in them, and it's just a bad year, and all that. But this is bad. Like, the Jets are, the Jets are a disaster, but the Giants are an embarrassment. And the way that they treated Jones this week too, right, making him, he was ranked 4th on the depth chart, and they had him at safety in practice, and then at least Mara stepped in and said, listen, we're not going to do this guy like this, and let's just release him so he can end up on another team this year. And, so that was Mara stepping up and in, but they're a terrible team, bro. Another team. They haven't won at home. They're an embarrassment. They get murdered at home all the time. Dable's an egomaniac. It's never his fault. It's always the players. It's never him. Malik Neighbors is already upset and frustrated, and it's not even through his rookie year yet. They're just a terrible, terrible team. And they're taking on the Dallas Cowboys, who might have found something today, actually. As crazy as it sounds, I'll actually lay the points with the Cowboys here, Sean.
Let's get back to what you're saying. I think the Jets are more embarrassing than the Giants because no one thought the Giants were going to be good this year, right? No one thought the Giants were going to be good.
Yeah, the Jets actually spent money and have players. Yeah,
the Jets had Super Bowl. They're a team people thought could go to a Super Bowl or make a run to the playoffs, right? I mean, that's why you went and got Aaron Rodgers. You had a defense. You have all the toys on offense. You're ready. We're here. We're going to be good. So that's the embarrassing part that they have 2 wins. And the fact that they're going to bench him or IR this guy. I mean, I think the Seattle line went from a +1 to now they're minus 1.5 points. Actually, 2 points I saw in an offshore joint already. So that's a whole nother. The Giants were going to be bad. Now, good for them. Maybe other teams like maybe the Jaguars should just swallow Trevor Lawrence's contract as well. But like you said, they just cut him loose, hop on with a team. I think he's going to the Niners. I will not be shocked if he's not on the Niners by tomorrow.
Makes sense. Yeah,
that's
it makes
the spot.
As soon as he clears waivers. Unless somebody else wants to beat the Niners to the punch, knowing that he's going to end up on the Niners. Right?
The Raiders will
more with Sean on the other side.
Your main event, tail of the tape for Battle of the Giants. Francis Ngannou, 38 years of age. Reina Ferreira is 34. Francis standing 6 feet 4 inches tall. That's usually the bigger man, but tonight he'll face a man who is 6'8". Reina weighed in heavier, has the longer reach on arms and legs.
And down goes Stafford. That was devastating. So they move the ball down the field. Puka Nacua is racking up the stats. Just a quick check right now. He's up to 7, so he's gone over the 6.5, and he's gone over his number. He's at 99 right now with 71.5. And you know what, guys? Cooper Kupp quietly has just popped up to 5. So remember, Sean, I gave and here's our long field goal attempt, over 46.5. 47-yard field goal attempt. And the kick is no good. They don't get anything out of that. They don't even get 3.
A 40-yarder?
47-yarder. They don't even get 3 in a dome, too, inside. Come on, man. Like, not
Remember
even
the beginning
close.
of the year? The beginning of the year, everybody's saying these 50-yarders and like, look at this. It's the year of the kicker. And then Tucker misses 2 the other day in Pittsburgh. I mean, how about Washington today with the extra points cost them the game? I mean, like, just ridiculous. The kicking has, like...
Oh, it's wild.
It's on par with the bad quarterback play. I mean, the kickers... Oh.
But even the Cowboy kicker who can make like a 66-yarder, he missed like a 40-yarder today as well. He shanked one. It's, you know, the Washington kicker basically cost them the game or put him in. It didn't put it this way. He certainly didn't help him. But, man, that's frustrating. I got the end game. I got the end game over here. I got the end game over. I got the Rams. They're moving the ball. God, and they get nothing. Even the 3 would have been like, all right, you're down 10 for the teaser here, 27-17, you're lingering. I would have been happy with the 3. Would have hit the long field goal prop. I would have taken it. Now we're just screwed, 27-14. Philadelphia's just going to run the ball here now. And if they score, it's over. It's just it's done with. But on the plus side, and we gave a same-game, in-game parlay, Sean. So same-game parlay, but in-game. So the game was going on. And I liked a bunch of props, but I said, you know what? Let's just string them together and put them in a parlay. And it was Nacua over 7.5 receptions. He's at 7. Cooper Kupp over 4.5 receptions. He's at 5. And Matthew Stafford over 220.5 passing yards. And it's plus 300. So we're on pace right now. I need one more catch from Nacua. And Stafford, even though they're losing and they're sucking, he's going to have to throw the ball, guys. So we should be able to hit this number at 220 here. So this it'd be a nice score if we could hit this plus 300 and soften the blow of being on the LA Rams in this game. But we only got a couple of minutes with Sean here. So, you got the Giants in the Cowboy game. 3.5 and 38.5 is the total. And then the Miami Dolphins and the Green Bay Packers is the game of the day. Thursday night. It will be live Thursday night, Thanksgiving, for this football game, breaking it down live. Dolphins are getting 3 against the Packers right now, Sean. What do you think about the Thanksgiving slate?
Well, like I said, I don't like laying a big number with the Lions, but I can't. The way the Bears have been losing, do they have enough heart to come off the mat again with those tough losses? So I lean the Lions in the over. I got nothing with the Cowboy Giant game. The Giants' offense looks terrible. They couldn't stop any run game, but Dallas doesn't have a run game. So that I don't know about that. Maybe some kind of prop, maybe some kind of TV prop or something for the Cowboys. But I do like Miami here. Man, Tua's back there. He's been good. The offense has been putting up points with him back there. Green Bay's off a big win, a little payback win. I don't care that they had a backup quarterback for Niners. They want to beat those guys after the playoffs last year and get one for them. The only thing I don't like the 3.5 though, Gabe, believe it or not. I'd rather have a flat 3 or something than a 3.5. I see 3.5s at 7.5s. I feel like they're trying to lure me in with that hook, and I'm like, I'm a little leery of it. I like to go opposite of those kind of like the 3.5, 7.5s. I take a favorite most of the time, and 2.5, 6.5, I'll be on a dog. So that one I'm kind of leery on taking it, but man, I like Miami. I do. I just think it's a bad spot for Green Bay off a big win, a payback win, and with Tua back there, they are putting up points the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks. They're putting up 30 a game. I kind of like them here. Kind of like the Dolphins.
It is going to be 33 degrees. So it's going to be cold, but not super cold. And Tua said today, I look forward to changing that narrative. What do you think about the? We got a Black Friday game actually too this year once again.
Yeah.
On Friday afternoon, the Raiders and the Chiefs are playing, at 3 o'clock Eastern time. The Chiefs are 13.5-point favorites, and here's a big play for A.J. Brown as the Eagles are putting the nails in the Rams' coffin here right now.
So Minshew's out, right? They lose Minshew for the year. He's gone. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, he's got a broken collarbone. Yeah, broken collarbone.
And this line doesn't move 1 point. I saw like a 13. It was 12.5 before the game started. Now I see like one random 13. So 0 points.
He's not really worth anything.
Like, that is crazy. I mean, but again, do you want to lay? I mean, I had the Panthers today. I was like, coming off the Buffalo game, I had to take the points. I would have taken a Raiders here if they had a normal quarterback, but I just because the Kansas City, again, they kind of played it onto who they play. They don't care about covering. They just
they lost to the Raiders last year on Christmas Day.
Yes. So the guy threw 4 for what? What do kind of look like 60 yards? I mean, I don't know. I want to take Kansas City, especially because they were in a nail biter today. Like, I feel like Reed's going to be like, fellas, what are we doing here? We're up big and we let them come all the way back. That's not what they usually do. They usually get a non-cover, but they don't let a team come back and tie them like that. So I feel like you're going to kind of get A+ kind of game performance here at home. So part of me wants to lay with Kansas City.
Other point spreads this week. So you got 3 games. You got 3 games on Thanksgiving. You got 1 game on Friday, Black Friday, Raiders and Chiefs at 3 o'clock Eastern time. And then Sunday, December the 1st, Arizona at Minnesota, an interesting game. Minnesota are 4-point favorites in that game. Houston at Jacksonville. Houston minus 5.5 on the road. Indy minus 2.5 on the road against the Patriots. Sean, we'll get you out of here quickly. What do you think of the Ravens and Chargers tomorrow? Sitting at 2.5 right now. Baltimore favorite.
I like the Chargers. I'll take the defense. I'm going to take the defensive team. Ravens. This is kind of like why I like the Chargers against Cincinnati, because the Ravens just
better defense.
Can't make a stop. I like the Falcons next week. Falcons next week. Chargers off back-to-back times, and the Jaguars bye week.
And the Jaguars.
Your main event, tail of the tape for Battle of the Giants. Francis Ngannou, 38 years of age. Reina Ferreira is 34. Francis standing 6 feet 4 inches tall. That's usually the bigger man, but tonight he'll face a man who is 6'8". Reina weighed in heavier, has the longer reach on arms and legs.
So they held field goal while we were gone. It's 30-14 right now. The Eagles are in control of this football game. There's 10.5 minutes left, 10:30 left in this game. And Saquon Barkley is just absolutely killing it. He only has 1 touchdown tonight, but he's got 22 carries, 173 yards. He's also got 4 receptions for 47. So we're on the wrong side of the Rams with the Rams side. We're not there with the total yet, and every week that Kurtz is with us, we're always sweating out 1 more touchdown. I need 1 more touchdown to get the original number, although we just did hit our over 43.5, and I got an over 49.5, and I got an over 54.5. So I got a bunch of them, or 53.5. I got a bunch of them. How high did I get, actually? What was the number I got to? All right, so we already won the 43.5 one. No, so no, I'm only up to 49.5. So I got an over 49.5. Yeah, which would get me, we'll need 1 more touchdown. And also I have the original total of the football game as well. So we need 1 more touchdown here. Total is 51.5 now. The Eagles are minus 13.5. But Saquon Barkley is going to help a lot of people in fantasy, and it's a critical time of fantasy football right now, Kurtz. Massive game for Barkley, but we're on the wrong sides there. But the props are coming in. As Saquon Barkley, we took Saquon over 2.5 receptions, and we took Saquon over 14.5 receiving yards. They both hit. We took A.J. Brown over 88.5 receiving yards. Although I knew it was high with A.J. Brown. I took over 6.5 receptions for him. He's at 6 right now. We went over 6.5 with Nakua, and that's a win. We went over 6.5 with Cup. He's at 5 right now. We hit the first touchdown score of the game with Williams at plus 375. So even though I'm on the Rams, that's the beautiful thing. If you bet enough props and you put enough on them, you can soften the blow, George, and or still win money. It's not just who wins or loses the game.
I have his yardage also here, and I think I got to check that. I either have it or I need 5 yards. So that's going to be very close coming down here. I don't know how much more they're going to run the ball now, being down by 2 touchdowns.
No, now is the chance for us to get this Stafford and Nakua stuff, and we can hit this same game in-game parlay that we played. I know some of you out there tailed it. We got it at plus 300. It would really be a nice savior. There it is to Nakua. So we got the Nakua part home. And we've already got the Cup part home here on the same game parlay. Now we just need Stafford over 220.5 passing yards. And we hit a nice plus 300, and that'll really be a nice hit. And take my mind off being on the Rams a bit. Although I got the Rams plus 10 in a teaser. So we got a puncher's chance at this still. And I'm not getting my hopes up too much, but I got a lot riding on the we need a Rams touchdown. Let's just get a Rams touchdown here.
You could push on that because if they get a touchdown, they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, you're right, which is annoying.
Yeah, listen, you'll take a push rather than a loss, but that's definitely in play.
Yeah, I'll worry about getting the touchdown first because we've seen them a bunch of times, very frustrating. They move the ball down the field and they get nothing.
They implode,
right?
Yeah.
That one they missed the field goal. That was kind of a big turning point. Could have made it 27-17. At least you got something out of it, right? Instead, you could kind of tell it was deflating after that. All right, George. So what's your pick tomorrow for the Baltimore Ravens and then the Chargers game? The Ravens are now 2.5-point favorites, minus 150 on the money line.
I mean, from what we see from the Ravens, I think they can score some points, but so can the Chargers. Their defense is better. Right, it's just better here. I'm gonna take the points of the Chargers at home. I don't love it. It won't be a big bet at all. Once again, I'll be more prop heavy than I will be on the game itself here. But I'll take the Chargers at home. But Cincinnati lit them up last week. I know it's a different kind of offense. Burrow, Higgins, Chase. I get that. Chargers don't have that kind of offense, but I think they're gonna be able to get enough points on the board to win this 24-21, 24-23, something like that. So I'm gonna take the points of the Chargers.
Points. Captain Chalk's taking the small dog at plus 2.5. As I stated earlier, Jim is 0-2 against John Harbaugh. This is the 3rd time they're playing head-to-head. The last time, of course, remember the Super Bowl, ironically enough, in New Orleans, where the Super Bowl is this year. We got a triple header of Thanksgiving football, and I don't know, like if I was, it's like good news, bad news if you were the Cowboys. It's nice to get a win, right? You don't want to be the laughing stock every week, and, you're watching. You kind of were. It's amazing, isn't it? Earlier in the game, like the missed field goals, and you're on the 6-yard line. Somehow you go backwards. You don't get anything. You turn it over, whatever. It was sort of like a comedy of errors, and the Cowboys were terrible. Yet they end up winning the game when it's all said and done. I would kind of rather have the draft picks, but now you get a New York Football Giant team rolling in here that you'll probably beat again. They're 3.5-point favorites right now, Kurtz. But, I saw Micah Parsons saying, I told you we haven't quit and we're a good team and all that. They're going to be fired up for Thanksgiving, right? And they haven't won a home game yet. And this is finally a team that they shouldn't get smoked by on their home field. As crazy as it sounds, I think the Cowboys are the play at minus 3.5.
They are. The Giants are tanking. That's easy to see. Maybe the Giants will be fired up. We did hear that Malik Neighbors went off on the team today. So did the defensive guys. So maybe they'll be more fired up. But I don't think the Giants have the horses. I just don't think they do here. And the Cowboys are getting healthier. They're getting their guys back. So I think they'll win the game. And as you see, I'm not thrilled about it. I mean, I don't mind beating the Commanders. I'm a Cowboy fan. we hate the Commanders. Although I'm the first person to tell you the Cowboys' biggest rivalry nowadays is the Eagles, not the Commanders. They just haven't been good in a long time. But still, it feels good to beat Washington in Washington and ruin any chances they had of winning the division, right? Assuming Philadelphia wins tonight. So that does feel good. But what was your first sentence there? I'd rather have the draft picks. Yeah, so would I. So would I. The Cowboys, I understand. You go on the Cowboy boards, by the way. Oh, we play the Giants this week. And then we have, the Bengals, and then we have Carolina. We can go 7-7.
Yeah, so they're, okay. Exactly. They're thinking, they're still in it. But that's
even
why.
Even if you win 7-7, who cares? Who are you going to beat in the playoffs with Cooper Rush? Come on.
But on the plus side of things, though, that's why I like that's from a betting perspective, because sort of like the Dolphins, right? Remember a couple of weeks ago, the Dolphins were all forgotten about and all this, and you sort of looked at their schedule, and it was like, wow, they had the Patriots, they had the Raiders or whatever. They have a bunch of winnable games after they beat the Rams. They got the one game that, people didn't think they were going to win. Now they're rolling again, beating teams they should. Now they got another tough game coming up on Thursday night. Rams moving the ball down the field here a bit. It's not easy for them, but they are moving the ball. They're on the 30-yard line right now. It's a lot of dink and dunk stuff, but Stafford's getting some numbers here. So Stafford is now up to 186. 186. We're going to need the ball back again. Like there's only 30 yards here. So even if they do something here, we're going to need the ball back again for Stafford to get this same game parlay over 220.5. And I got a pregame to 251.5. And I also have Stafford over 1.5 touchdown passes. He's at 1. So I wouldn't mind it. A Rams touchdown pass would really, really swing swing things here. And he just lofts it up there. Nowhere close.
I got Stafford to throw a pick. So that could have been money there if he got picked. I need a nice Hail Mary at the end to be picked.
We're running on a racetrack, too. There's only 6.5 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, they've got 3 timeouts. For your bet, they've got 3 timeouts. You score somewhat quickly here, and then you should be, assuming you can stop the Eagles, you will get the ball back.
All right, so on the other side, we'll get Kurtz's thoughts on Thanksgiving Day games. We do both agree that the Dallas Cowboys, as insane as it sounds, are the play. They are playing the New York Giants. One thing, the Giants are better on the road than they are at home, but This is a team that's just in a serious, they want the season to come to an end. And Dallas is still playing for something, even though they shouldn't be in their heads. All right, first down. There's a penalty on the play. And I think it might be on the Rams, actually.
Your main event, tail of the tape for Battle of the Giants. Francis Ngannou, 38 years of age. Reina Ferreira is 34. Francis standing 6 feet 4 inches tall. That's usually the bigger man, but tonight he'll face a man who is 6'8". Reina weighed in heavier, has the longer reach on arms and legs.
And we're stuck in nowhere's land right now in this football game. Once again, the Rams move the ball down the field, get sacked, go backwards. Stafford fumbles the ball. They lose 1,000,000 yards on it, and they have to punt because it's 4th and 33. And now this game is all but done. There's under 5 minutes left, and Philadelphia's just going to look to run the football. I need the only hope in hell we have here, and Stafford's at 186. I did hit the in-game over 43.5, but I got the pregame over. We need one more touchdown. I got to hope that somehow there's a turnover here, someone pops one, or they force a punt from the end zone, and maybe we get a garbage touchdown. But that was frustrating, George. Sort of the theme of the day today, once again. The quality of play today, for the most part, was pretty terrible in the NFL.
Oh, the early games was awful. I mean, I know I kept dozing off a couple of times during these games. This is rare. You're always watching them. But didn't give it. The witching hour was good from 3:30 to 4:15, right? That was good to see the endings of the games. The 4 o'clock games weren't much better. Arizona, Seattle, which we thought was going to be a shootout, was blah. Green Bay, we knew would blow out San Francisco. Thank you for that one. I appreciate it. And I don't even remember Denver and the Raiders. Yeah, I guess that was better than we thought, but most of us were on Denver there. So yeah, the football today wasn't good, but we sort of knew that coming in, Gabe. You looked at the schedule this Sunday. There weren't that many games like, oh, this is the game I want to watch. This game's going to go on the big screen. There wasn't already that many games like that. So I can't say that I'm surprised. Hopefully next week, where everybody's playing, nobody on bye next week, is a little better. But we got 3 games Thursday, 1 Friday, 1 Monday. We're only going to have, 11 games on Sunday.
Yeah, it's really spread out. So you got the Monday nighter tomorrow, Baltimore, the Chargers, triple header. Bears at Lions. Bears are getting 10.5. Georgia totals 49. And the Dolphins and Packers are the nightcap. What do you think of the other 2 Thanksgiving Day games?
Detroit's on a collision course with Philadelphia, the way it looks like for the championship game here. I think Detroit's the best team in the NFL. I'm not even sure how close it is. I don't think Montgomery's going to play here, which means there'll be big-time props for Gibbs if he gets all the action in this game. Bottom line is this. Detroit wins. All right, we know that. Do they cover 10.5? I think they probably do. So I'm going to be more on Detroit than I will be on Chicago. I still know what Chicago team is going to show up here. So it's going to be give me the Lions here. Like I said, props on Gibbs for anytime touchdown, probably on St. Brown as well. If I'm going to do a 3-team teaser, which I probably will for Thanksgiving, I'll probably use 10 points here. Dolphins to win. I guess the Cowboys plus 6.5. I don't trust the Giants getting any amount of points. And the night game's a problem, right? Miami, Green Bay. Miami's playing so well. Green Bay's playing well too. I'm going to go with Green Bay, though, in that game. I think Green Bay is going to beat the Dolphins.
There'll be a lot of talk about Tua's record when the temperature is below 40 degrees. It's going to be 33 degrees. Yeah, and he's ready for it. He said today, I look forward to proving the narrative wrong about
what's he going to say?
The cold weather.
Oh, I don't want to play. It's cold in Green Bay. Can we go into it? No, of course he's going to say he's ready for it. But the numbers are the numbers. Bottom line is, even if he plays well, these are 2 good teams here. I will be curious to see if Jair Alexander returns for Green Bay. He missed the game today. And I wonder if he missed today's game as a sort of rest for Thursday because they knew they would beat San Fran with or without him. They didn't need him today. So I'll be curious about that. He's their best cornerback, which will certainly help with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Hill, outside of a couple of touchdowns the last couple of weeks, not today. He's not Tyreek Hill anymore for whatever reason.
No, he hasn't been. You're right. Teams have been limiting him. All right, so other point spreads this week. The Arizona Cardinals are in Minnesota coming off their loss today in the Pacific Northwest. They're going to be happy that the Rams are losing this game, and so are Seattle, actually, for NFC West standings standpoint. So the Vikings are 4-point favorites, total 46. Houston Texans lose to the Titans. Now they're 5.5-point road favorites in Jacksonville, total 43. The Colts coming off a flat performance today, got punched in the mouth by the Lions. 2.5-point road favorites in Foxborough. Mayo's calling the players out saying, hey, I can't do anything once they're on the field. It's getting ugly in Foxborough, total 42.5. Chargers play tomorrow. I think they actually got stopped on the brotherly shove for the first time like ever. But I don't know if they're getting a good spot on this, actually. On a 3rd and short.
He's short.
Yeah, it looks like they're marking him short. I hope they don't go for it. They probably will, just out of spite.
There's 19.
But why do it, right? Why get stupid, right? Just punch the damn ball, which would help me. Yeah, I know, because of course he is.
Maybe he's trying to draw him off sides. Oh, he did. Somebody moved.
This is unbelievable. And look at the Rams, how close they are to the line of scrimmage, and then they moved. The Rams moved first, too. That's not the Eagles.
Only matters what they think. What do the refs think?
Yeah.
Another huddle.
Man.
We get more. I like ref huddles. It's nice that they get together to try and get the call right. They usually screw it up anyway. But at least they are trying to get the call right.
Offside. Wow.
No.
And the Rams only have one more timeout left too. So like the Eagles really might be able to just bleed the last 4 minutes of the game, which is going to be super frustrating if it happens. Like, for the love of God, I saw this in college the other day. A kid jumped offside, but that's college. Man, you're a pro team. You know they want you to jump.
Yeah,
like, you know they want you to jump.
It shouldn't happen, but it does. Probably more than it should. Especially when we don't think they would. I don't think they would have snapped. I'm curious now if they were going to snap it, but I don't think they were going to snap that ball.
Wow. All right, so 4:19 and counting right now. All right, so the Chargers play tomorrow. Now they're on the road in Atlanta after. Short week, road trip for the Chargers. Early game, 1 o'clock Eastern start time. Chargers are currently 1-point favorites. The total's 47 in that game. The Steelers looking to bounce back off their loss. Steelers plus 2.5 against Cincinnati, whose season's slipping away, but you know they're not going to tap out yet. Over under 47. Seahawks with the big win. And this is interesting, isn't it, George? As bad as the Jets are either always favorites or small look. The game's basically a pick 'em. Seattle minus 120 on the money line, total 42.5. Tennessee Titans at Washington. Suddenly the Commanders don't look as good, and they're only 5.5-point favorites against the visiting Titans. Over under 43.5. Tampa Bay Buccaneers lay 6 on the road at Carolina. Over under 46.5. Sunday night football. Next Sunday night will be on the San Francisco 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills catch the Niners at a good time. Purdy's probably going to be out. Bills are 7-point favorites in this game. Total is 46.
Your main event, tail of the tape for Battle of the Giants. Francis Ngannou, 38 years of age. Reina Ferreira is 34. Francis standing 6 feet 4 inches tall. That's usually the bigger man, but tonight he'll face a man who is 6 foot 8. Reina weighed in heavier, has the longer reach on arms and legs.
It's Saquon's world, and we're just living in it. As Saquon Barkley leaves the New York Giants, the Giants hit rock bottom, and Saquon Barkley's having a career year. 26 carries, 255 yards. It's got to be a Sunday night special record, like Sunday Night Football. Like I don't know, but it's not an all-time record, but I don't recall anyone running for 255 on Sunday Night Football before. Saquon, 255 yards rushing. And don't forget, he's got 47 yards receiving. For the record, Saquon Barkley has 45 fantasy points right now. So the over gets there, guys, because of Saquon Barkley. So thank you, Saquon. Point blank. His big play capability won the total, pretty much won the game for the Philadelphia Eagles, along with their defensive line play. We got that same game parlay that we've already hit the receivers, an unbelievable. Nakua's got 8 catches. Kupp's got 7 catches. Kupp doesn't go over his yard prop. Nakua does go over his yard prop, though. But I need more yards for Matt Stafford, George. But why would they put their starting quarterback in down 37-14 with 2.5 minutes left? I would expect Stafford's going to get pulled from this football game. And he's been hit a million times already, too.
I would think you're right, but it is McVay, so who knows? But I would assume you're correct. I think you're a little bit ahead of me here, so you'll actually know before I will anyway, once this kickoff gets going here. But is Barkley in the MVP conversation, by the way?
He has to be now. He was already the runaway favorite for offensive player of the year.
Player of the year.
Yeah, but now, you look at but no, they don't give it to running backs. It's always it's a quarterback award, right?
Well, it's Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, and Barkley has to be there. I'm trying to think of anybody else.
As I said earlier, like he's single-handedly won games for them. Right? He really has. Like there's been a bunch of games where they haven't been good. The Saints game where he pops a big run for them. But this is special tonight on Sunday Night Football. Unbelievable. 255 yards. And so plus the 47. So actually, George, over 300 total yards, 302.
Well, Stafford's still in there, for what it's worth.
Wow.
Pretty sure that was.
I'm actually amazed, as you stated.
Maybe he's going to hand the ball off in any game, but that looked like number 9 to me.
It is Stafford, but they hand it off, so I get teased.
If you're dropping, and you're going to drop him back now, this doesn't make any sense. This is what gets coaches criticized, yelled at. I mean, what are
Yeah,
you
if
doing?
you're going to hand it off, if just take him out then. If you just want him to be in there to hand it off, right? But they have him throwing the ball.
I don't know.
And
I don't run with you. Maybe he's got some kind of incentive he needs to play. I don't know, but this is silly. This is malpractice in my mind. You're still in the race here. The NFC West is kind of crazy this year. This loss hurts, but Arizona lost today too. San Fran lost today as well. Big day for Seattle. So it's not like this division's over. He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day.
Yeah, but as a prop player, I'll take it. As a prop player, I say thank you, Sean McVay. He just completed a pass to Nakua. Hey, they get another first down. I got a puncher's chance at this. He's up to 193 right now. I need 220.5. I got a bad number. That's what it was when I played the same game parlay in game. And so I got 229.
Touchdown, you'll get it. You're going to get 28 yards if they score a garbage time TD.
Yeah, hope. Yeah. Where are they now? Yeah, you're right. They're not. Yeah, unless they pop a big run here. We're getting close. The touchdown doesn't help me either on a tease or anything like that. And I only had over 49.5 in game. I had over 43.5 in game, 49.5 in game, and I had the pregame over 49. So, hey, we'll take it. It's better than it was looking. And we did pretty well with the props, actually. This game is a plus for us. I'm just upset. Good. Yeah, this game hasn't been terrible. The props, it's one of those games where I loaded up on Nakua and Cup and everything, and they hit. You know what I mean? So, we took Saquon, he hit. We hit the first touchdown. It was all pretty good. All right, George. So what's your Thanksgiving? I asked Sean Higgs this earlier. Are you a turkey or a ham guy on Thanksgiving?
I don't like ham, period. I'm not a ham guy at all. My family's turkey anyway. Yeah, I don't like ham sandwiches. I don't want to ham. No, I'm not really a big pork guy. Maybe a burger or bacon, a hot dog or bacon. That's about it. No, turkey, mashed potatoes, some stuffing here. No cranberry sauce. All right, no. Get that off my plate. Not eating it. All right, and listen, I'm a Cowboy fan. My family's known this forever. If you want me to eat at the table, listen, dinner better be ready 3:45, 4 o'clock. All right, that's the only way I'm eating at the table.
That's a good holiday time, though. Yeah. So you got to eat. You want to eat before the game, not during the game. So you eat right before the game.
I probably don't care this year. It doesn't matter as much, but in most years, yes, before the game.
Your main event, tail of the tape for Battle of the Giants. Francis Ngannou, 38 years of age. Reina Ferreira is 34. Francis standing 6 feet 4 inches tall. That's usually the bigger man, but tonight he'll face a man who is 6'8". Reina weighed in heavier, has the longer reach on arms and legs.
All right, things got a lot better during that commercial break as we hit the plus 300 same game in-game parlay that we played and gave you. Stafford now at 243, and we got so many plays. I was focusing in on that. I was worried about the over before, but Stafford over 1.5 touchdown passes, hits as well. Stafford now 6 of his last 7 games, 2 or more touchdown passes. Although it was baffling why they did this. I mean, I don't know if they don't want to tap out. If they're thinking that everything is going to be so tight and close about tiebreakers and points scored and differential, and or Stafford told him, I don't want to come out of the game. But it was kind of weird that Stafford stayed in the game here. That's illegal. That's a penalty on Philadelphia.
Batting. Right, it's illegal batting.
Yeah,
how do you not know you can't do that, brother? How do you not know the rules? I always find that weird.
Because you got to do it like casually, George, where you got to do it where the ref knows you did it deliberately, but you don't make it look so deliberate. Like, you know what I mean? Sort of, it bounced off me. Like, you know what I mean? This guy just sort of like swatted it out of bounds.
There's Goddard. I mean, there was Dallas guy. I guess he's not out there all that often on the hands team, but still, you have to know that.
So Goddard just
it's amazing how he's playing all the rules.
Goddard thought he was blocking a basketball. He swatted it out of bounds. Although they got to kick it again now, so it doesn't. Whatever, they got some yards out of it.
If they recovered it,
if they recovered it, they'll be closer. But only 7%. That's the percentage of onside kicks in this with these rules get recovered. So
he got it back.
Too, actually.
He redeemed himself.
So they kicked it right at Goddard again. This time Goddard caught it. Yeah, he didn't bat it out of bounds. So this game will be coming to an end. The Rams have one timeout left, but there's no use for them even to use it because they can't stop the clock anyways. So this football game should be over in a couple of seconds. But, so Stafford hits the touchdown prop late. We hit the same game parlay at plus 300. We hit the over in the game. We hit a couple of in-game overs. We hit a bunch of props. All things considering, we were on the wrong side. But that's why there's props to bet on. So we're going to be on tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, the Harbaugh Bowl, which is a big game, George. I'm done saying, it should be a good game. You never know what's going to be a good game or not, right? I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes bad games can be good. Look at the Cleveland-Pittsburgh game. Turned into a fun game when the snowstorm, the Charlie Sheen game the other night. But should be a fun game tomorrow. We are on opposite sides, though, George. I think the Baltimore Ravens, they're a desperate team. They need this football game tomorrow. And I think Lamar Jackson will be the difference. You want two coaches that know each other? These coaches know each other inside out. So it's going to be up to, the playmakers to make plays here. And I think the Chargers like to run the ball. I know that they're opening up a little bit more, but they generally like to run the ball and play bully ball. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that against Baltimore. Baltimore's weakness is throwing the ball, right? So I'm curious. It'll be interesting to see whether they throw the ball. Philadelphia taking a knee right now. This game is done. Kurtz, we'll catch you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Everybody have a great night and good luck tomorrow night.
So we got a big week coming up here on the grid. I'll be live tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, 8 o'clock, Sirius XM Channel 159, SportsGrid On Demand on YouTube. And then Thursday night, we'll be on all the networks for the Miami Dolphins and the Green Bay Packer football game. Keep it locked right here. We got Kasey Hudson stepping up and crew with the post-game show and the wrap. And we got a big week of football coming up this week, college football, as well as a big Thanksgiving slate going on. We got games on Thursday. We got games on Friday. So we got a ton of football going on. And we got the post-game show coming up right here on Sports Grid. Other than that,
Welcome into Pro Football Today. It's time for the post-game show with Kasey Hudson and Tom Vecchio. And what a game that was for the Eagles. The final being 37-20 in the books. But more importantly, in the famous words of my PIC here, Tom Vecchio, that was a Saquon Barkley game. 255 on the ground through 25 carries and 47 in the air. I mean, before I allude to anything else, let's just get your initial reaction on that.
The Eagles, they're just a machine at this point. They're just running the ball. And, one of the stats that they brought up on the broadcast is that Saquon's yards per carry is exponentially higher in the second half than it is compared to the first. And he started off the second half with that 70-yard TD run. They just wear teams down at a certain point, and you're going to have these explosive plays. Saquon is going to break off a big run. And despite all the yards, his prop was sitting at whatever it was in the high 80s. You could alt him to 100. You could do this. You could do that, whatever it is, combined rushing plus receiving. I think the actual best bet for Saquon every single week is over on his longest rushing attempt. It was 14.5 today. And granted, the 72 is significantly higher than that. But still, he's always been known to break off these runs, whether it's 20-some-odd yards, 30 yards, and even just getting the ball into his hands, as we saw in the receiving play that went for 31 yards. As soon as the ball's in his hands, he has the opportunity to break it. So you could take the yards, you could take over 100, this, that, the other thing. But I think the safest bet is actually just over the longest rushing attempt for Saquon. They are an absolute machine. They have the NFC app, I'm going to say, borderline locked up at this point. 4 of their last 5 games are at home. They're going to get Devonta Smith back healthy. I think they are absolutely flying into the playoffs right this season. No pun intended for Fly, Eagles, Fly.
No pun intended, but we always love when it lines up beautifully with the lingo there. But more importantly, love the angle on the longest rush, because for the most part, we saw him have 3-4 breakaway. I don't want to say breakaways, hockey talk, but we saw him break out 3 different times tonight and just completely dominate the yardage, for one. For two, he's so hard to tackle. Now, he was going against a very young Rams defense at the end of the game there. But now let's pivot over to the Rams for just a second. Tom, got to get your opinion on this one. First quarter, it looked like this was the Rams game to take over. I mean, they looked really good. Puka Nacua was fierce as all get out, 2,000 scrimmage yards, one of 5 NFL players to do so in 23 or fewer games. So what did you make of the Rams offense before things just kind of fell apart?
Rams offense ultimately was okay tonight. Granted, the last touchdown, you could say that maybe it shouldn't have been on the board, but, the first quarter, this has been the story for the Eagles all season, where they just don't score in the first quarter at all. So I mean, maybe we should just put on opposing teams' first quarter spread or first quarter money line every single game against the Eagles, and then just knowing that the Eagles are going to come back. But regardless, the Rams, they're fun, they're an okay team. That's what it comes down to. They're just like an okay team. Their defense is not great. I think their offense can have its moments, especially with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp back, as we saw Puka go 117 tonight. Cooper Kupp did have the touchdown. Kyron had the touchdown. These are the 3 key pieces of their offense. They're all really good. Their defense is terrible. It's kind of a similar situation with the Bengals. They have an awesome offense. It's just no one can stop them on defense. And Stafford going out there, no interceptions, 2 touchdowns. Granted, a little bit of garbage time in there. 240, 24-36, is a good game. But their defense is bad, and they're just going to be a very middling team, where I think they can beat up on teams below them, and they're going to struggle and probably lose to the better teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And then more importantly, the inability to protect Stafford. That's going to hinder them to really compete against any top teams out there. I mean, what did this close out at with 4 different sacks? We've seen a number of games where Stafford has been sacked a cumulative amount of times. So outside of that, I do like the first quarter mentioned, because they do tend to rack up some statistics, especially in that first quarter. But Tom and I will continue to unpack this after the other side of this break. It's with us here on
Chris Cyborg, 39 years of age. Larissa Pacheco, only 30. Cyborg 2 inches taller. Equal measurement on the arm reach for these women. Slightly longer legs for Chris Cyborg. Legacy. Chris Cyborg.
Welcome back into Pro Football Today, the post-game show with Kasey, Hudson, and Tom Vecchio here on SportsGrid TV, running through the Sunday Night Football matchup, and what a complete game from the Eagles, winning 37-20 over the Rams. Tom and I were just talking about the fact that in the first quarter there, it looked like the Rams were going to put up a much larger fight, but things just kind of dwindled down. We did see Puka Nacua get a little shaken up and taken out of the game until halftime came about. After the half, comes back in, puts up some monster plays continuously, but outside of that, let's talk about the Eagles offense continuously here for a second. Tom, we were talking about the fact that Saquon Barkley was just impossible to stop. 255 on the ground, 47 in the air. Of course, one of the biggest workhorses on that roster. But A.J. Brown also had another big game. Some big connects with Jalen Hurts for one, key touchdown for 2, and 109 yards for 3. So what do you make of him heading into this game, what he produced in this game, and kind of props moving forward as this Eagles roster starts to take shape more consistently?
Yeah, Brown's always been one of the best receivers in the league, or has been over the past few years. I think it's interesting to know that, Devonta Smith didn't play tonight. Whether he plays next week is yet to be seen. But it's interesting to note that the point is, for the Eagles offense, Smith isn't there. It's they just don't mess around. Just get the ball to Saquon, get the ball to A.J. Brown. Yeah, the mix in Dallas Goedert here or there. But other than that, Jahan Dotson had 1 reception. Dallas Goedert had his 4. No one else touched the ball except for Kenny Gainwell out of the backfield with just a few carries. He did score a touchdown. But Saquon with 30 combined touches, which is absolutely insane. Saquon with 30 combined, 4 in the air, 26 on the ground. Brown with 6. And then just Dallas Goedert and Jahan Dotson. That's it. That's great from a prop perspective. We know exactly who the ball is going to. I say this all the time about teams. We want to know who the ball is going to, right? And they're not going to the ball. That means we actually can take unders on a lot of those players. I wish I took the under on Jahan Dotson. That's one of the players I considered taking the under on. His prop was sitting out of 16.5, 17.5 as receiving yards, and with 4. 1 target. He's out there running wind sprints. He's just not involved in the offense. So when we do see Smith back, he will be involved. He should be that second receiver alongside A.J. Brown. But if he's out, we can really just key in on the main players, and we don't have to be confused about anything. We know who the ball's going to. Let's keep it simple. And Saquon for 100-plus yards every single game.
That's what I was hoping you would say, because I'm learning from you, Tom. You like when it comes down to clear, concise play here, and you know where the target share is majority going to go, and that kind of perfectly pivots us over to a Rams roster that's not exactly as easy to pick. Yes, Puka Nacua is kind of a lock. Cooper Kupp can be kind of confusing sometimes because his numbers just kept jumping all over the place. Even before Puka Nacua got shaken up in the second quarter, I mean, he was at 39.5, then he was at 50.5, then he went down to 42.5. That shifts entirely throughout the game, closed out with 60. Then you got Demarcus Robinson sitting at 27.5, only has 2 receptions for 15, so probably one of those unders that you were alluding to. So what do you kind of make of the Rams roster? Because coming up here, I think they have the Saints, they've got the Bills, and then the Niners moving forward over the next 3 games.
Yeah, this is make or break time for the Rams, and they need Kyren Williams, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp to show up every single week. That's what we have to be getting from them. You like to see more on the ground from Kyren Williams, and it's good to know that Kyren Williams is still the guy. Blake Corum, the rookie from Michigan, got 1 carry, and other than that, it was all Kyren Williams. So he carried 16 of the 17 running back carries for the Rams, which again is good. And then it just has to be Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp for the Rams offense. Sure, we'll see Tutu Atwell and Demarcus Robinson involved here or there. Maybe Colby Parkinson will catch a touchdown pass. But it's not going to be a large volume of passes. So ultimately, I just want to push them out of my consideration because we don't want to be too confused. Because at the end of the day, McVay knows what he has to do best, and that's just move the ball in the air efficiently and get it to those 2 receivers.
Love that. Well, overall, again, if you guys missed it, Eagles come out on top 37-20. What are some of your biggest takeaways from this victory for the Eagles and this loss for the Rams?
If you have an Eagles division ticket, I would that's looking awesome because not only did they win, but the Commanders lost. The Eagles have the head-to-head victory, and the Commanders are now 3 games back in the loss column over the Eagles, and the Eagles are just rolling towards the division title, and obviously the conference title is looking that much stronger for the Rams. They need to pick up these wins. They're going to need help. They're going to need the Seahawks to lose, the Cardinals to lose, the 49ers to lose, et cetera, if they want to have a shot at getting not just close to the division, but they need to start worrying about just the last wild card, which is certainly looking tough in the NFC. So Rams, future ticket holders, it's getting dark.
That's so tough, but it is true. And it's unfortunate because last season they had a sluggish start, started under 500, pivoted perfectly after the bye week. Everyone was kind of riding the high that theme was going to line up so perfectly here again, but that is not particularly looking.
Yeah, we did on the Thursday preview show. I said this is what's such a big game for the Rams because the Cardinals and the Seahawks played each other, and the 49ers were going to be without or potentially without Brock Purdy. So the 49ers lost. One of the Seahawks and the Rams were guaranteed to lose today. And then this was a spot for like the Rams to make that move, and they couldn't do it. Like the Eagles are just the better team.
Yeah, and it showed in many, many, many ways. Now, you already kind of alluded to it. We're going to come up against a break, but let's go ahead and start looking throughout the rest of this Sunday, taking it back to the top. A number of upsets today, a number of weird games today, and I think the best place to start is with the Tom Vecchio Cardinals taking on the Seahawks. Seahawks found on top 16-6, Tom. So what did we make of this?
On the Thursday night show, I said I love the under on this, which was sitting at 47.5. I also said specifically I like the under, but I also like over on Kyler Murray over 214.5 passing yards. And I said it does sound a little bit counterintuitive, but the yards could be there without the points entirely being there, and that's exactly what we saw today. A divisional game, I said these teams need to tighten up the defense because it's so important a game later into the season. We know the Seahawks do have a good defense, and they're starting to turn things around. Everything I said on the Thursday night recap show is what happened. Kyler had 285. He went over on his passing yards, and the game hit the under because it's a divisional matchup. We're getting late into the season. We're in the, getting to the teens of the weeks. This is where the teams need to tighten up on defense. So this is obviously a super tight division race right now. No one is clearly ahead of the other. We're going to have so many more divisional games coming in the final weeks of the season. But this game went exactly as I said it was going to in the Thursday night show.
Yeah, that's exactly why it was the perfect pivot. I was like, as soon as I saw this, I mean, I caught glimmers of it throughout the day, but as soon as I saw the finale, this is Tom Vecchio's call. Don't go anywhere. Stick with us here on Pro Football Today, the post-game show with Kasey, Hudson, and Tom Vecchio. We continue to run through the Sunday slate, and if we have some time, we'll start to look ahead at maybe Monday Night Football, where you guys know where to be with Pro Football, the pregame show.
Chris Cyborg, 39 years of age. Larissa Pacheco, only 30. Cyborg 2 inches taller. Equal measurement on the arm reach for these women. Slightly longer legs for Chris Cyborg. Her legacy, Chris Cyborg.
Welcome back into Pro Football Today, the post-game show with Kasey, Hudson, and Tom Vecchio here on SportsGrid TV. We talked about the Eagles beating up on the Rams 37-20. We talked about some props and some specific targets you should continue to eye as the regular season follows through. But now we got to talk about some of these crazy games that took place. Tom and I were talking during the break. The 425 slot was just pure gross. But that pivots us perfectly to the Titans beating the Texans 32-27. Who had this on the bingo card for today? We've talked about the Texans having to clean up their game over the past couple of weeks. We've talked about a more complete performance, and this is not what I had on the card. Tom, what did you make of this matchup?
Well, of course, Nico Collins scores the game after I spoke about him. Same thing happened with Puka Nacua last week when he scored at the Patriots. Horrible game from Joe Mixon on the ground, just didn't get it going. And the Titans do have a good defense. Texans need to figure things out because I said coming into this week, this was a huge game for them because the Colts were in a spot to lose because they're playing the Lions, and the Texans have the Titans and the Jags coming up. This was a spot to really pick up some divisional wins and secure the divisional title to get home field advantage, et cetera, et cetera. They did not do that. Their defense is bad. CJ Stroud looked okay. The interceptions, the sacks continue to be an issue.
Yeah, big time. And plus, we've just seen some weird coaching connections between the head coach as well as the players in the midst of getting things going during the game. But we'll see what prevails as the weeks come away. Now, we are getting into one of the most important football weeks coming up here, Thanksgiving. That's where we're going to see a lot of big battles go down. But speaking of big battles, let's stick to the in-division competition. Vikings-Bears. Did anybody have it on their card that this was going to go into overtime? Vikings with a narrow escape of 30-27.
I got to say I am shocked and pleasantly surprised at what we saw. Everyone's always talked about, especially this season, Vikings and the Brian Flores that defense about how it has been so good. And We've also talked about Caleb Williams and the immense amount of struggles he's had. 32 of 47 for 340 yards and 2 touchdowns, only 3 sacks, no interceptions. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, huge games from him. Cole Kmet, huge game from him as well. They didn't get anything going on the ground, but like this was it's a loss and another heartbreaking, nail-biting, whatever you want to call it, loss for Bears as they seemingly suffer those week in, week out. But like this was a really good game from Caleb Williams. It is an encouraging sign that he played this well against this solid of a Vikings defense. On the other side, Aaron Jones got things going, finally got into the end zone, over 100 yards. Huge game from Jordan Addison, huge game from TJ Hockenson, extremely quiet game from Justin Jefferson with only 2 catches and 27 yards. So it's good that the Vikings have other options in their offense, but again, kind of encouraging signs from Caleb Williams, if we're being honest.
Oh, big time, especially for anyone in the Bears fan base. For starters, to be able to cancel out the noise that has been surrounding the Bears over the course of the last 3 weeks, this was a tremendous role for him to play and step up as a leader, step up as a quarterback, and so much and so forth. So a lot to look forward to from Caleb Williams. Let's talk Cowboys Commanders. Cowboys pulled this one off 34-26. And the laughter should say it all, but please take the floor and paint the picture for us as the win.
This game was hilarious. The fact that we're going into halftime tied 3-3, and then we see 24-17 in the fourth quarter alone. We got returns, we got interceptions, we got this, we got that. It was an absolutely insane game. Jaden Daniels looked downright bad in the first half, and then turns it on out of absolutely nowhere. 275, the 2 touchdowns and the 2 picks. We saw Brian Robinson get banged up, come back in the game. We saw Austin Eckler get hurt, and I think he got knocked out. And then, he did walk off under his own power. But 2 concerning signs for their backfield. Their third string is Jeremy McNichols. He could have to play a role moving forward if they're not healthy at the running back. Terry McLaurin with an immensely long touchdown to close things out. Cooper Rush looked okay, right? 247 and 2 through the air. He had over 300 yards last week. Their run game got going with Rico Dowdle on the ground for 86 yards. And then CeeDee Lamb continues to be that number 1 option. I also will say Luke Schoonemaker stepping up with Jake Ferguson out, providing a bit of a secondary option in that passing offense. So CeeDee Lamb will still have value on a week in and week out basis, and it will actually be his receptions, not his yards, because they're moving the ball out quickly out of Cooper Rush's hands to keep the plays very simple. They're not like crazy reads. It's just, okay, hike the ball, get the ball to CeeDee Lamb. So 10 receptions for 67 yards is immensely low, but the receptions are actually really valuable.
Absolutely. Simplicity can translate to success if you do it right. Well, you guys know where to find Tom Vecchio and myself back on Pro Football Today. But for the pregame party tomorrow, Monday Night Football, Ravens taking the Chargers 2.5 on the spread, 50.5 on the total. And I'm sure a whole lot of fun to get you guys prepared and psyched up for some Monday Night Football. So make sure you join Tom Vecchio, myself, Dave Sherapan, and Adam Kaufman back here on tomorrow.